We're at the Briggs Irrigation Open Day in 2025, which is marking 40 years of engineering excellence. Today, we're going to get to have a look around some of the products that they have on offer and exactly how they're made. So let's go take a look around. Let's begin where Briggs began. This is the Briggs rotor. Now this is the Model 5 and it's a slightly updated version from what they originally started with in the mid-80s, but in principle, it's got that same engineering genius. We have water, or dirty water in this case, being fed in through here. It comes up through the boom. The pressure from the water leaving the boom rotates this. We have this cam that presses against this buffer here, ratchets this wheel round, which turns this cable and pulls the rotor across the field. You can leave it by itself and it will make its way all the way across the field. It's a really clever piece of engineering. So there's some uncertainty in how long these kind of rotor rainers are going to be able to be running for, just because the laws around what you can do with dirty water are changing, but it's still a solid product for Briggs. And to go with it, we've got this rotor pump set, which is again designed to pump that dirty water. Now, I think it's worth us going to have a look at how their bigger booms and how some of their pumps are made. Let's go see some sparks flying. So now we're in the main manufacturing area and it is a hive of activity. We've got welding going on, grinding and machining. Over here, this is one of the jigs that they use when they're loading up the middle sections of the boom frame. Now, obviously these booms can extend up to 76 meters out. So getting this precise is critical because a few millimeters out on the jig has a big effect when you're putting booms that go out that wide. So this is a really precisely manufactured jig. Now Briggs takes real pride in the skill of their welders. They say that for every welding position they take 10 applicants. It's critical that these welds are strong and last long so that they don't have repairs coming back to the shop. And here we have one of the finished boom sections, and you really get to see the quality of the welds that are on here. And again, another one of their jigs in place, and we really have to emphasize just how important it is that these are, less than a millimeter specific. Behind me, we've got Briggs Irrigation's machining shop. There are CNC lathes constantly turning, just churning out all these parts that are needed to build that full product. So you can see one's going on in the background behind me. What it means is that they can just take metal in and they make all of the parts that they need here on site. As well as all the skilled welders that they have here, some of the more repetitive tasks have been able to be moved to automation. On this jig, we've got an end plate ready to be welded by this boy here. Now, it's a really clever system that they have. This whole wall opposite me here is on a turntable. And what it means is whilst this piece is being welded, the previous piece that's just been welded can be taken off and finished and then loaded up for the next round of welding. What this does is it cuts down a welding job that used to take 40 minutes to 50 minutes down to 15 minutes. Behind me we've got their laser cutter. They use it to cut steel that's anywhere from 1 to 12 millimeters, and it gives that perfect finished cut every time. Unfortunately, it's not running today. There's an issue with the cooling system, but one thing that is quite interesting to show you, inside they have a rotary table that allows it to turn box steel so you can do rotary cuts on there, allowing it to cut any shape. So obviously it's not just booms that they make here, but we also have the pump manufacturing. Behind me, this man sitting in his gaming chair is welding up a fuel tank that's going to go in one of their JCB pumps. After this is done, it's tested for leaks and then it's fitted into the assembly line. And let's go have a look at that. Briggs has put together this excellent display that shows how their JCB pumps go from tank all the way to a finished working pump. Here we have another one of the tanks that we saw the guy welding earlier. However, this one obviously has been powder coated now. So this is now back in the factory ready for assembly. This gets lifted up and put into one of these shells. This outside shell is protection for the tank, just so that anything coming in the side isn't going to pierce the tank and have you leaking fuel. We move along. Those tanks are then lowered into this skin and all of the fittings are put in place. That's stuff like engine mounts, fuel caps, in any of the kind of other ancillaries. There's a draining pan over there. Next, the engine gets fitted. Now they all use JCB engines. This one's got an 85 kilowatt JCB 4.4 litre engine attached up to the Mech 80 pump from Caprari. This pump can deliver 12 bar at I think 1500 RPM, but is rated for up to 15 bar. Finally, the pre-assembled canopies are put on top. Inside, they've got sound deadening panels built in, so it's nice and quiet from the outside. But this is what the finished pump looks like. It's also worth mentioning that Briggs now offer the Idromop control panel, which allows operators or farm managers to control their pumps from their smartphone, from their desktop PC, but down to the bar that you're putting out, the pressure. If you've got a digital fuel gauge, you can see how much fuel is left in the pump. It's a really clever system that they say doesn't add much to the cost, but adds a lot of functionality. It also comes with a funny little antenna on the top, so you get good signal coverage wherever you are, even in the middle of Scotland. There is one more thing that I just thought was worth mentioning, because it's something that Briggs say farmers are doing themselves, and that's putting in a little drain hole just down here. Now, there's stress, you have to be careful not to drill below this weld seam here, because this is the fuel tank, but a hole through here allows any collected water to be drained if you lift up the front end. So speaking of the Idromop controller, we've got a really nice opportunity to actually show off how it works. Now it has mobile app connectivity, which means on the app on the phone, we're able to connect to this unit and we can see all of the machines that we have as part of our fleet. I'm going to select this one, and on there I get to see the bar that the pump is running at, the RPM of the engine, the voltage of the battery and the fuel left in the tank. I can also see previous work cycles. I can program in timings for running the pump, but what I'm going to do now is start the machine. So all I have to do is hit start, declare that the machine is safe and ready to start. So I hit start, an alarm will sound. That makes sure if you've got your head in there, you can get it out nice and quick. And if we step back and we follow this pump here, before long, now that we've had a look at how they make the pumps and at the early fabrication of these big booms that are stacked up behind me, let's go and take a look at some of the hose reels that they get hooked up to. We've made our way to the I'm hungry. And right now I'm stood between two reels. This one is one of their racecourse irrigators. These are generally some of the smaller ones, and some members at Briggs have told me that Briggs actually supply the vast majority, if not maybe all, of the sort of racecourse irrigation systems that are used in the UK. However, the agricultural ones are a little bit bigger. So let's go take a look at some big hoses. These are the Briggs VR7s, and they're on twin axles, quad wheel flotation tyres, and they are ginormous. 700 metres of hosing on it. So when you need to get water around, something like this is going to take it to where it needs to go. So it's been an excellent open day here at the Briggs Irrigation Open Day. Right now, I've got this 50 metre sprayer going off behind me, and I think that's a fitting end to another excellent demo day that Briggs have put on for us.